How to improve iPhone battery life. Many people find their iPhone is the most indispensable piece of technology they own. But the one big downside is that battery technology still has a long way to go, and we seem to need to charge our iPhones more than once a day. So here are some tips and tricks to help make our iPhone batteries last longer. With any luck, employing a few of these will help you get to the end of the day until you're able to charge again. The first tip is pretty much a no-brainer, but I'll mention it anyway. Use low power mode. When low power mode is on, your iPhone will last longer before you need to charge it, but some features might take longer to update or complete. According to Apple, low power mode reduces or affects many features, such as email fetch, Hey Siri, background app refresh, automatic downloads, and some visual effects and auto lock defaults to 30 seconds when this mode is engaged. To turn on low power mode, you will need to get to the battery menu in settings. The easy way to turn on low power mode is to 3D touch settings and then press battery. Once in the battery menu, simply switch on low power mode. For those of us without 3D touch, you can press settings and scroll down to battery. And then switch low power mode on. I find using this mode alone makes a huge difference when I know I won't be able to charge for a while. The next tip may not work for everyone, but you can turn off Hey Siri. I find I never really use this feature myself. Turning it off will reduce the power your iPhone uses in standby, since it won't have to keep on listening to you. To adjust this setting, go to Settings, then press Siri, and then you can switch off Allow Hey Siri. So the next thing you can do to improve battery life is to turn off background app refresh. Background app refresh allows suspended apps that are in the background and not currently in use to check for updates and new content in the background. Turning this option off will not only help your battery life a bit, but it could also reduce your data plan use. This option can be adjusted on a per app basis or just turned off in general. To look at your background app refresh settings, go to Settings, then General, then Background App Refresh. At the top, you can turn this option on or off, while below that would let you change the setting on a per app basis, provided the main option is turned on. I keep this option turned off and have not found any negatives to doing so as of yet myself. The next battery saving tip I find useful is to adjust your push email settings. Push email is an email system that provides an always-on capability in which new email is actively transferred or pushed to your iPhone as it arrives. Do you really need to get every email as soon as it comes in? Maybe you've got a secondary email account that isn't so important. Like the last tip, you can adjust this setting in full or by each email address you have. To adjust these settings, go to Settings, then Mail, then choose Accounts, and at the bottom choose Fetch New Data. On this screen, you can choose whether or not your mail gets pushed to you or you go to fetch it. Fetching the email will only check for messages when you are running the email app or on a predetermined intervals. You can change the fetch schedule from every 15 minutes to hourly, or even change it to manual, which is what I would recommend to save the most battery. Every time your iPhone checks for a new email in the background, it uses up more battery power. As you can see here in my example, I have the first email address set to push and the rest set to fetch, as I don't need those emails in real time. I find this has made a great difference in my battery life. This next tip is a pretty simple one. Reduce your screen brightness. The screen on your iPhone is what uses up the most power. The brighter the screen is, the less time your battery will last. So if you're looking to maximize your battery life, making the screen as dim as you can really does help. There's a couple of ways to adjust your screen brightness. You can quickly adjust this in Control Center by swiping up. The brightness control is close to the top and you can adjust it as you need to. But you can also adjust it by going to Settings and scrolling down to Display and Brightness. Once in that menu, Brightness is the top option. Here you can adjust the auto brightness. If you're looking to maximize your battery life, I would recommend keeping auto brightness turned off so the screen settings you choose don't change. As a side note, while we're in this menu, you can also turn off Raise to Wake, as this feature turns the screen on whenever you raise your iPhone, which in turn can use more battery as well, and is not really a necessary feature for most. This next battery saving tip may not work for everyone, but you can turn off Bluetooth. Leaving this turned on uses a fair bit of power, but it's not always practical if you often use Bluetooth headphones like AirPods or even have an Apple Watch. Since we're in transition to a wireless future, less people will be able to take advantage of this power saving tip, but if you're not using any Bluetooth devices, why leave it on? The easy way to adjust this feature is through Control Center. Simply swipe up. Bluetooth is the button in the middle on the top row. But remember, you will need to turn this option back on if you ever use wireless headphones or if you have an Apple Watch and want it to have a data connection to update app data. The last battery saving tip is to remember to keep your iPhone software up to date by updating your apps and making sure you're always running the most up-to-date version of iOS. Most of the time, running the newest version of software will be the best for your battery life. To check out your version of iOS and make sure it's up to date, go to Settings, then General, then press Software Update. Mine is currently up to date as of the time of this video, but if you need an update, it will let you know. To keep all your apps up to date, you can go to the App Store and then press Update in the bottom right corner. Any software updates for your apps will appear here. Well, there you have it. Some of the best ways I've found to make your iPhone's battery last longer. I hope you found at least some of these useful. Did I miss any battery saving tips? If you have any tips that I missed in the video, please share them in the comments below. You also might want to check out our video on how to charge your iPhone faster for some great iPhone charging tips. After all, sometimes you need to charge your iPhone fast. There will be a link in the description below. And feel free to subscribe to the channel for more helpful tech advice from our tech how-to videos. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.